That boil water notice in the city of Houston. Now, there are lots of questions after the city issued that boil water notice, but it was hours after a power outage caused pressure to drop.
Lena DeFloria is here now to talk with Houston Mayor Turner about how the water sampling is going and when the notice might be lifted. Lena.
Okay, so the number one question, right, is why did it take so long for people to find out what was going on? So, Mayor Turner, I just want to make sure that you're hearing me.
I am hearing you.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I know it's a busy day for taking the time, but I have to ask you the number one question we've been getting here at the station from your constituents and our viewers is why it took almost 9 hours after the pressure drop triggered a contamination concern to let the people know that the water may be unsafe.
Because there was power disruption for 2 hours between 10:30 and 12:30. So for those 2 hours, and the hope was that the pressure did drop below 20 psi. That is only they bought a notice triggered, and it's not automatically done. It's the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, after reviewing what has taken place, the analysis, they then decide whether or not a boil water notice would be given or not. And so you had a 2-hour disruption from 10:30 to 12:30. The power was restored. There was plenty of capacity within the system. So and then it was after that point that some of the sensors started reading that in some areas the PSI had dropped below 20. But that did not automatically mean that a boil water notice would be given. All of the analysis has to be then given to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. They then decide whether or not a boil water notice should be given. And they made the decision, I believe it was right around 6 o'clock, or maybe a little bit before, that a boil water notice should be given, and that is when it was given. So it's not just when there's a power disruption that it is automatically triggers a boil water notice. There was no evidence, and still there's no evidence of any contamination. So the boil water notice was given out of an abundance of caution, and when we had a number of sensors that read that the pressure had fallen below 20, what we call 20 psi.
I just want to be clear too, when you mention PSI, that is the pressure that is needed to make sure that contaminants are not backflowing into the water. But I do want to say though, if for 2 hours there was the quote unquote hope was the word that you used, and then overnight your tweet saying that we believe the water is safe, why not let people know though? Because the minimum pressure level required by the TDEQ for safety, it was below that point.
No, I hear what you're saying, but it's not just an automatic sort of deal. The power was quickly restored. We have gone through Hurricane Harvey when the entire water system was underwater, and the pressure was tinkering around 20 psi's. In some cases, it may have fallen a little bit below. It didn't trigger a boiling water notice. So during Hurricane Harvey, there was no boil water notice given, even though the entire system was underwater. In this particular case, the power was out for 2 hours, from 10:30 to 12:30, and it was restored very quickly.
Can I ask you about you had mentioned there's no evidence of any contamination, certainly good news and a relief to many, but no evidence of contamination. But could it be because they just started to collect the samples to be tested?
No. There was plenty of capacity within the system. The power went down doesn't necessarily mean that the capacity is not there or something can enter into your system. It was when you look at the different sensors that we have throughout the system, throughout the city of Houston, that the sensors were indicating that in some areas the pressure had fallen below 20 psi's. When all of that data was then gathered and shared with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, and this is between 3 and 6 o'clock, then the decision was made by the TCEQ out of an abundance of caution to issue a boil water notice. And that's when the notice went out. So it's not that when you had the power disruption between 10:30 and 12:30 that you automatically issue a boil water notice. No.
Sure. I think
That's
the confusion,
that's
though,
not
is that when the
case.
PSI falls below 20, as you've indicated, that is the minimum level that's accepted for safety by the TDEQ, yet that is not, for some reason, the protocol to issue that boil water notice.
And that is not, and I want to be very clear because there's misinformation being put out. That does not automatically trigger the boil water notice. There are sensors throughout the entire system, okay? Not all of the sensors went below 20 psi. When all of the information was gathered and was submitted, because we have to submit all of the information to the TCEQ, when all of the information was submitted based on the findings from the different sensors, then the decision was made out of an abundance of caution to issue the boil water notice. Even though there's no evidence that there is contamination, out of an abundance of caution, it was issued. And that is what we did, and that's when the notifications went out.
Well, now that there has been an agreement on the submission plan of the samples that are being collected, what is the earliest that we could see the boil water notice lifted or find out whether or not there was, in fact, any contamination?
Right. And the submission plan was entered last night. I certainly want to thank the state, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, Texas Department of Emergency Management for working with us, working with the city of Houston. They stayed up. The plan was submitted last night. It was approved last night by the TCEQ on the water samplings. The water samplings has already started to occur early this morning. They are being submitted to TCEQ, and then you have a window, let's say, between 18 to 24 hours. So it's our hope that all the samples will be fine and that we could get an all clear. It could be very late tonight or early on Tuesday morning. We're trying to expedite it. Everybody is working to expedite things as quickly as possible because, number one, we don't want kids to miss another day of school or businesses to be impacted or surgeries to be impacted at all. So everyone is moving with a great deal of haste.
So for safety's sake, the recommendation then is to continue to boil the water at least until going to sleep tonight, and then hopefully tomorrow morning getting the all clear. Is that correct?
And that is correct. Out of an abundance of caution, we recommend that you continue to boil the water for 2 minutes until we get the all clear. Certainly, we apologize for a major inconvenience, but my preliminary report that's been provided to me says that 2 of our transformers on yesterday malfunctioned, and then it triggered the power outage.
Okay, and just to be clear, the CDC and the department also is saying 3 minutes of boiling just to be safe with a rolling boil. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much for the update and your time. Appreciate it.
Okay, sure, no problem.